Hello, and welcome to the December 2017 Inside Westwood. My name is John Cummings, and I'll be the host for the show for today. Our intentions here at the Inside Westwood is to inform our community of what has just gone on and what is coming up in Westwood. Initially, this will be a monthly show, and our webpage at the westwoodmediacenter.tv has links to everything that we cover here on the show. Our extensive community calendar, each event has a link, and that link will send you to the event. We would like to wish a warm welcome to our newest member of our team here at Inside Westwood, RJ Morrison, our new associate producer. November has been a very busy month in Westwood. Fire Chief Scoble retired after 46 years of service to the town of Westwood. Chief Scoble has seen many positive changes in Westwood. The most recent and greatest one, the chief played a major contributing role in the new Islington Fire Station from the conception to completion. The new station has been online for the entire month of November, and we wish Chief Scoble a healthy and happy retirement. Taking on the duties at the helm of the Westwood Fire Department is Chief John Deckers. Chief Deckers has 25 years in fire service and is a graduate of Severian. We would like to wish him, the Chief Deckers, welcome and good luck. Our town meeting was held on November 13th, and we voted with the recommendations of our FinCom in all but one article. That article was Article number 5, and essentially this article was to set limits of residential units on both High Street and Washington Street at Islington Center. Those caps for both would have been 90. The article did not pass because it needed a 2/3 vote. The 144 yes to 112 no was declared by the moderator as not 2/3. There was an amendment submitted on the floor to Article number 5 that would lower the cap from 90 to a much lower number. That amendment was not allowed on the floor because of the town attorney's opinion that the proposed amendment was out of the scope of the article. We did vote in favor of funding the Gay Street sidewalk design. And now we bring in our town administrator, Mike Gillette, to give us a municipal update. Hi, Mike. Thank you very much for coming down to the studio.
No problem, John. I always appreciate you inviting me down.
Well, thank you. Well, what we'd like to know is about the tree lighting ceremony this weekend.
So this weekend we'll be holding the 30th tree lighting ceremony.
Congratulations.
In the community. So Sunday, December 3rd is the ceremony. This year we have a new feature. We're going to have sleigh rides. Those will be starting at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Which is a little bit in advance of where we usually have a starting time. There'll be performances by the community dancers, dance teams that will start at 4 p.m. The event is great for all ages, with arts and crafts, stilt walking, face painting, and visits for a very special person at the end and conclusion.
Would he be dressed in red?
He'll be dressed in red with a white beard. And it's an opportunity for people to take pictures. That's often what they do at this event. So we ask everybody to join us as these holiday celebrations. Remember, parking is limited at Town Hall, so we encourage people to park at Deerfield School as well. It's a short walk over to the event from Deerfield.
All right, and can you tell us what are the updates on the warrant for the May town meeting, and how does that work if someone wants to write a warrant article? Okay,
so on Monday, December 4th, the Board of Selectmen will be meeting. That's the meeting that they will be opening the town meeting warrant. They open the town meeting warrant for anybody to submit, including boards and commissions. People that want to submit articles for consideration are encouraged to have more than 10 people sign. 10 registered voters are required to submit a petition article to town meeting, and generally you want to get more than that to make sure that you've got 10 registered voters. We also encourage people to come in and have a conversation with us at Town Hall, especially Town Council, to make sure that the wording's correct. You know, we've run into problems in the past several times when somebody comes in with a petition article with all the required signatures, and then the petition article's wording is not appropriate to accomplish what the petitioners are seeking to accomplish, And, you know, unfortunately, we have to deliver the message that, you know, even though we would like to place this on the warrant and have it considered, and if it passes, to have it implemented, sometimes we aren't able to do that, and we have to give disappointing news.
Are they able to change the wording on it after?
They're not.
after the
That's
8th?
a problem. Petition articles are different, are handled different from articles that are submitted by government, and there's a reason for that. Government process is that we hold public hearings, information sessions, comment periods, and in that process, articles will evolve in the language because it's part of the process. Petition articles, on the other hand, are submitted and they're signed off by individuals that say, I agree with the wording that's here. But they're not saying that I agree with the wording that's here or that may be modified.
The legalities of what's being
The
said.
legalities of it. So for that reason, it's important to have the wording to be precise and enactable by town meeting, so if it passes, we can implement it. And you know, that there have been several instances in my 30 years here in town that you know, the petition article just isn't written the way it needs to be written. Now, when people have come and asked us for assistance in preparing an article that's appropriately worded, we've done that. And I know that there's a reluctance, there's a feeling that we won't do that if we don't agree with the article. It's not a matter of agreeing or disagreeing. A petition article should be presented to town meeting if people feel strongly about it. And if it were enacted, we want it to be something that we can actually enact. We will assist people to accomplish what they're seeking to accomplish, and they need not fear that we will misguide them in any way.
Right. Well, it goes to the, after someone submits an article and it's closed on the January 8th, it goes to the FinCom, where the board of 15 people review everything and they make comments on it.
Mm-hmm.
Once people get comments, if they realize what they have, they wanted to change it, what could they do?
Well, again, it can't be changed like it can be changed for the government articles.
So they'd have to withdraw and then resubmit it the next?
They'd either have to withdraw it and resubmit it, or they could change it. Amendments would be allowed on town meeting floor. There could be a discussion and presented to the FinCom that there's an intent to amend the article and give some new language to them. But the FinCom would be obligated to report and vote on the article as submitted.
As written.
As written.
So if they're going to submit an article, and after listening to the FinCom, they want to change it or alter it just a little bit, would they then go to the town council to make sure that it's properly worded?
I would absolutely advise them at that point to.
And do they have to submit it to anybody before the town meeting?
It has to be submitted to the town moderator in writing. It has to then be presented. The assumption would be that the article, as originally submitted, would probably be voted indefinite postponement, especially if it was something that couldn't be enacted.
Because that's on the original.
That's the original
article.
And so it would require that the indefinite postponement be overridden in order to submit an amendment to the original article. So if indefinite postponement were to be set aside, voted down, then the amendment could be presented. The advice that I would give is that do all that in advance, get word out, even have the amended article available for everybody that's coming into town meeting on the table, so that they can see what it is that you would submit as an amended article, so people could become familiar with the article in advance.
At the town meeting, let's say Article 33, if it was voted indefinite postponement from the FinCom, if they had gone, let's say that I was going to put one in and I wanted to change it a little bit, I have to listen to what the FinCom's input. They have to vote on my original submission.
Right.
Then I would make any alterations, talk to town council, and then I would be given the opportunity during the town meeting to ask people to vote against the indefinite postponement?
Because I would
With
I would like to submit this article, and it would be good for everybody to have the new wording of the article available to them that they could refer to before deciding whether or not they want to proceed with indefinite postponement.
And you can always rewrite it for the next town meeting exactly the way you want it.
You can.
And now that
Yeah.
we have two, it's not even that far away.
Right. Well, I say that, and then I give a caution here. If it's a zoning article, for instance, that you're seeking to amend, and it doesn't pass at a given town meeting, it must be. It can't be submitted at the next town meeting. It must be submitted at the following town meeting, unless you can convince the planning board that the article that you want to present is agreeable to them, and then they could join you in the submission. The point is that
Before town meeting.
before town meeting, yes. Articles that are not voted in favor can only be represented at the next town meeting by the planning board. They can't be petitioned in. So you have to wait for a second town meeting.
So if someone's going to write an amendment on the floor, and it's, for example, this meeting, Article 5, I believe, was someone submitted an amendment to Article 5 that was deemed out of scope. They tried to change the number of cap from 90 to 35. The reason why it was out of scope would be...
The reason why it was voted out of scope is because it did not provide the opportunity for landowners that would be economically affected by the article as amended to have had prior understanding that that was possible, because it was all done in the meeting room, in the town meeting room. By reducing the number to 35, you basically are telling all the landowners in the area who may want to take advantage of it because it has economics for them, that there would be a more limited amount of opportunity to do that. And without prior understanding of that, they may not be in attendance at town meeting to voice their objections.
Because they may not be town members.
That's right. In addition to that, the planning board also has a responsibility for determining whether or not zoning bylaws are appropriate for the entire community, not for small elements of the community, but they look at zoning bylaws as to its effect on the entire community and the individuals that own the land themselves. And the planning board itself wouldn't have had the opportunity to report out or to have heard hearings and comments pro and con the change in the number. And so that would be taking away its responsibility. Amendments to zoning bylaws shouldn't be made on town meeting floor because they necessarily have to be heard in front of the planning board, and the planning board is obligated to give a report to town meeting in advance of presenting an article on town meeting floor.
So the out of scope wasn't necessarily that the article was reducing from whatever it was to 90, and this was reducing it to 35, is that the public wasn't able to vet the process through all the different public meetings with the planning board,
Right.
and getting their expertise, and then the FinCom getting their expertise.
That's exactly right.
All right. So, but if it was probably like 90 to 85,
I don't know. That would I wouldn't pass judgment as to 90 to 85 would have passed muster, because that's determined by the town moderator,
Right.
with advice of town council at the time. So I would not want to weigh in and say, yeah, that probably would have gone. But I can tell you it would be, if you put it on in some sort of fashion, I could say it would have a better chance of being.
Okay. So it was just such a great differential. That was the
Yes,
catch-all.
it definitely was
It
significant.
would have affected whoever owned the property. Like if I owned property, it would have dropped in value.
Right. Right.
And I wouldn't have had my say.
Well, it dropped in value or dropped actually in potential. I mean, all of these properties in these two sections where the fixed mixed-use overlay district exists on High Street and on Washington Street, they're all developed parcels. They all have tenants or people doing business out of them. A person that owns such a property is only going to decide to renovate or demolish and rebuild something if there's an opportunity to make some additional income from making the renovation.
It's business.
It's business. And these housing units provide that additional economic opportunity for them. It's an incentive for them to make the improvements to the parcel.
They've made a lot of improvements down in Islington. And with the new fire station, it looks beautiful down there.
Yeah, it does change the character of the community
Yeah, it looks nice.
and the appearance in Islington, which was first developed many years ago.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Now for the school updates. December is when the school budget is being developed. The proposed budget will be presented at the January 11th school committee meeting. If members of the public would like to provide input into the budget development, they can speak during the public participation at the December 4th school committee meeting. The school department is excited to announce the concert series for December, and they are inviting the general public to the concerts, and they'd love to have you. On Monday, December 4th at 7 p.m., the Thurston 6th and 7th grade chorus will be giving a concert at the Westwood High School. On December 6th, Wednesday, at 7 p.m., the Thurston 8th grade, the Westwood High School chorus, and the Westwood High School Glee Club passing notes will be a concert at the Westwood High School. Saturday, December 9th, from 12 until 3, will be the Battle of the Bakers at the high school cafeteria. And on Monday, December 11th at 7 p.m., the Thurston Band Concert will be at the high school, followed by Tuesday, December 12th at 7 p.m., the Thurston High School Orchestra Concert at the Westwood High School. On Saturday the 9th, the Senior Independent Project Program, which is the SIPP, the seniors will be hosting the first Battle of the Bakers. This event is open to the public and will be fun for all ages. It'll be held between 12 and 3 o'clock at the cafeteria and is designed to bring the community together for an afternoon of sharing baked goods and entertainment. Do you love to bake? Please bring your favorite baked goods with you to the bake-off. If you're not a baker like me, come to the bake-off and enjoy the baked goods. That's what I'm going to do. There will be some live local entertainment and, of course, a sample of delicious baked goods. Please email battleofthebakers@wpsstudents.org. We'll have that on our website here at the Westwood Media Center. Now, we're going to visit Hale for Into the Woods section of this.
Hi, my name is Emily Rivard, and I coordinate the Girls with Altitude program at Hale. Girls with Altitude is for girls in 6th through 8th grade. It's an outdoor female empowerment and leadership program, and it's designed to create a supportive and safe space for girls to be themselves and try new things and make new friends. We started the program this past summer with a grant from I Am Strong, and it involved over 30 girls from our 8 on-site summer camps. Each day at Girls with Altitude includes team building challenges, outdoor fun, and specific leadership-themed activities. Today we're starting with a few hula hoop team building challenges, playing a capture the flag game that's loosely based on the Hunger Games, and finishing with some discussions related to positive peer communication. These girls are developing a really positive group dynamic, and it's been so rewarding to see their progress as a team. Middle schoolers have so much pressure from outside sources like parents, their friends, media in their school. This program gives them a chance to just be themselves.
And now we're joined by our Director of Community and Economic Development, Nora Loughnane. Nora, thank you very much for coming to our studio.
You're welcome, John. How are you?
Very well, thank you. How was your Thanksgiving?
It was great. How was yours?
It was really good. And good luck to Shay, who's going up for the basketball.
And to Jack and Connor.
Thank you. I'm curious, Could you let us know what's going on at the University Station with any updates?
Sure. So the newest store opening was HomeSense. They opened the weekend of November 9th and have been doing a steady stream of business ever since. It took over where Sports Authority had been before, and it's a lot like Home Goods, only it has more furnishings, lighting, rugs, larger items. Then we also had the Courtyard Marriott, which opened last month. They've been also filled every weekend, and they have a conference function room that's available for rental. So residents may be interested in that for events, for parties. It's I think it holds about 50 people or so. Del Frisco's Grill is under construction there, and that is looking like it will open in mid to late February.
I'm looking forward to that one.
Yeah, definitely looking forward to that. Brigham Women's Hospital building is continuing in construction. They're about probably about 9 months away from opening, at best. They may be opening in late summer, early fall next year. Gables Residential has reached 94% occupancy. So those are the 350 one and two bedroom apartments that were developed as part of University Station. They have about 94%, I think that's about 325 of the units are filled, and they have 30 students there. So that amounts to about 33 students at full build out, and that should be compared to the 55 to 63 range that we looked at when the planning board took the project to town meeting. And that larger number, the 55 to 63, is what all the mitigation was built around. So we're
So it's
doing really well
considerably less.
there, considerably less, and not expected to change. We also have a new proposed condominium development that we haven't received an application for yet, but it's expected any day now. And that is a proposal for 100 condominium units on the east side of University Avenue near the railroad tracks. It would go between the new Brigham and Women's Hospital building and the Bridges Memory Care Facility. So that will be going before the planning board. It has to be considered for a special permit under the University Avenue Mixed Use Overlay District, and there would be hearings on that, public hearings, with full notification, and those hearings would begin probably sometime in January to consider that.
You'll be able to let us know at our next show.
I will. I'll give you all the details. Some other happenings in and around University Station. We have some office construction, renovation of old buildings that were there. 101 Station Drive, it's just outside of University Station, and that's about a 200,000 square foot office building. It was State Street Bank's offices at one point. That has been completely redone and fit out, and we have several businesses that have moved in there over the past year. We have Children's Hospital, General Dynamics, PI Worldwide, Mott McDonald, Walter Chaffane, and our newest business that's coming in there is Honeywell Muck Boot. They're moving their headquarters from Rhode Island to Westwood, and they will locate in that building beginning in December. Another building up on the hill there, Eversource building. Eversource has consolidated their offices to one section of the building, and they're renovating, fitting out the space for new tenants. The newest tenant is Beth Israel Deaconess Care Organization, and they're taking up space on the first floor of that building, and we're expecting other tenants in the near future. And then finally, 315 University Avenue, that's the former Citizens Bank building, next to the old New England Sports Academy. That has recently been purchased by a company known as Regeneris Medical, and they are opening up offices in their medical offices. So a lot of activity in that area.
That's been very busy. With that, we have a number of public safety facilities that are being built or at completion.
Yes.
You want to update us on that?
Sure. So the new fire station at Islington, substation, Fire Station 2, opened in early October. Recently, right after it opened, there was a little bit of a hiccup with a problem where we found that there was a sewer line that wasn't properly hooked up, but that's been corrected, and the last punch list items are being taken care of. We had an open house there last month, and it's a beautiful facility. And the firefighters are appreciating it, and it provides an ambulance close to all areas of the town. So a great addition to our town.
Chief Schobel did a great job finishing off his career,
He did.
nailing that one down.
He did. Nice celebration there, too. Then the police headquarters on High Street, the new building is complete, and the officers have moved into that building. We're waiting to tear down the old building until just a couple of the data transfers are complete. There's a radio connection that is still in that building. It's expected to be removed in the next couple of weeks, and we should see that building come down by the first week in January. So looking forward to that. And then the site work and the landscaping will have to take place in the
Weather
spring.
permitting.
That's right. They'll do what they can now, but we expect them to come back and finish the job in the spring.
That building looks phenomenal as well.
It does.
Yeah.
And it works very well with the town hall. The architectural style is very compatible. And then the old fire headquarters on High Street, that is undergoing a review for capital needs improvements and for looking for the best way to correct some structural deficiencies in that building. So that is being considered by the Town Facilities Task Force, and it's being considered in the context of all municipal buildings and school buildings in town that may need work over the coming years.
Oh, wow.
So more to be heard about on that one.
Westwood is really a thriving community.
We are.
Can you tell us a little bit about the Complete Streets projects?
Yes, so Complete Street Projects is a great program. Our Public Works Director, Todd Korchin, put together a Complete Streets policy, which was adopted by town meeting, I believe, 2 years ago, and that made us eligible to apply for grants. Since then, Todd has applied, and we have received a number of grants. One of the first projects was for adding bicycle lanes on Blue Hill Drive. Blue Hill Drive was turned into a cul-de-sac as part of the University Station development, and it's a great place for bicycle riding up and down the street and provides easy transportation from Canton Street down to the University Center now by bicycle. There was a project last summer, High Street and sidewalk improvements between Millbrook and Pond, and improvements to the alignment of the Pond Street, High Street intersection near the Sheehan School to make it much more safe for vehicles, for pedestrians, for bicyclists. Great improvement, and for all the kids walking along that route to the Sheehan School, much better conditions. We also have a project at North Street and High Street, similar to the one at Pond and High, that will realign the intersection and will improve sidewalks. In that case, the sidewalks will run from Blueberry Lane to Stanford Drive along High Street, and we will have 2 dedicated lanes coming up North Street onto High Street, one left turn lane and one right turn lane, also to improve,
That should help a lot.
improve the safety there. And then finally, there's the Gay Street Sidewalk Design Project that also received Complete Streets funding. This one was discussed at the recent town meeting in November, and is a project to allow for funding of the design, to see if it would be possible to add a sidewalk, the length of Gay Street connecting High Street to Washington Street, and if possible, where the sidewalk would be located, what the materials would be, whether it would be a meandering path or a straight sidewalk. A lot of details that will be discussed in the design phase. So public will be involved every step of the way.
Any idea when that will be? I know that it's going to go out to bid.
It'll go out to bid. I would imagine the bulk of the design work will probably be late spring, early summer.
Okay. Let's see. Westwood is continuing to see high rates of residential development.
So we are. We've had several subdivisions that, we don't have as many large subdivisions as most towns because we're fairly well built out, but we've had a few over the past decade or so. Westwood Estates is our newest one. That's a 10-lot subdivision off of Canton Street. It actually extends Hedgerow Lane from Canton Street all the way to Lyons Drive. That'll be 10 new houses. They'll be built out probably over the next 2 years. In addition, we have 2 subdivisions which were approved a few years ago that are now nearing completion. One is Westview Estates. That's off of Winter Street. Thompson Avenue was extended past Briarwood Lane, or Briarwood Drive, and that has 12 new homes, mostly complete, and also just went to town meeting to receive acceptance of the public street there. And Fox Meadow Estates. Fox Meadow was originally approved, I believe, in 2008, and that has 22 house lots, and the last of them are being constructed now. What's more significant in Westwood is scattered site development, development of new houses on lots that are carved out of existing properties. This year we saw a total of 17 new homes in Westwood. 5 of those were new houses on new lots. 11 of them were tear down and replacements. That sounds like a lot, but it's actually down over the past 2 years.
Oh, wow.
Going back in 2016, we saw 25 new homes, 20 of which were tear downs, and in 2015 we saw 36 new homes, and of those 21 were tear downs. So we're seeing a little bit of a decrease. Town meeting in May approved some changes to our zoning bylaw, which made non-conforming structures have to comply with our zoning setback requirements to a greater degree than they did before. So we're wondering if that might have resulted in a little bit less interest in the tear down and reconstruction of some very large homes on small lots. But it's too soon to see what the trend is. We'll keep our eye on that.
Let's see. It might be different if Google comes.
It may be. It may be.
Let's see. So what is the latest new Islington Center?
Well, we have the mixed-use building that was constructed on Washington Street that has 12 apartments and 2 commercial storefronts. The 12 apartments, 10 of them are market rate, 2 are affordable. Of the 10 that are market rate, 7 of them are now occupied, 3 still available for rent. And of the 2 affordable, we just had a lottery in mid-November on that. 23 eligible renters were qualified, and now they're in lottery order undergoing their check by the landlord to see if they meet the standards for moving into those apartments. So we're hoping that those 2 will be filled very soon as well.
Move right along.
Yes. Then we have the RFP project. Petruzziello Properties had submitted a proposal in response to the town's request for redevelopment of properties in Islington. That received an initial go-ahead from the selectmen, and a planning board application is being developed now. We expect that planning board application to be submitted in December for hearings beginning as early as January. So more to come on that one as well. That would involve a relocation of the CVS building to the corner of Washington and School Street. It would involve replacement of the Islington Community Center building with a new mixed-use building with housing above and retail below, and it would involve moving the MMO, Mother's Morning Out Nursery School, to a renovated building where the existing CVS is. So,
Oh,
and
wow.
it would also involve moving the Wentworth Hall, the library building, the Islington Branch Library, across to the west side of Washington Street where the municipal lot is. So a lot of moving pieces in that. And
Will they actually
a lot
take
of
the library
details.
building and move it? Or
Lift it
build
up, put on a new foundation with community space in the basement, and fully renovate it. So.
Wow. And they'll be doing a traffic study, I imagine.
There'll be a traffic study that will especially look at the intersection of School Street and Islington and consider whether or not a left turn signal might be appropriate
Oh, I hope they
coming
do.
from Washington onto East Street. So there's a lot to be seen in that. There'll be landscape and drainage studies that go along with it as well. So a lot of information. Anyone who's interested should follow the planning board schedule and come out to as many hearings or send in their comments by email if they can't make it to the hearings.
Okay, and the hearings won't be until January?
They won't be until January, so they'll be publicly posted, and they'll be noted on our website, and anyone who has any questions is also always welcome to call our office, and we can give them all the updated information.
And I know there's another one on the bottom of Gay Street and Washington Street from Dedham.
Yes, so that's
how's that going?
1000 Washington Street in Dedham. That's before the Dedham Planning Board. I was at their first hearing on that application in early November, and they have another one that's scheduled for December 14th at 7:30 in the Dedham Town Hall lower floor conference room, and that will review it further. So at the first hearing, they just went over the details of the building. It's 28 apartments over retail space with parking on site. And there were just a couple of people there to comment from Dedham, residents who lived immediately across the street who were in favor of the project. The Dedham Planning Board didn't mention any concerns, but I'm sure they're looking into the traffic study and reviewing it further. Our Westwood Planning Board did send comments to that meeting as well, asking for them to share the traffic study for that project with us, and we can then look into whether the signal at Washington Street and Gay Street needs to be retimed. And the Planning Board also asked that the Dedham Planning Board consider requiring a crosswalk be added across Gay Street Extension from Hogan Tire to this new building, and a crosswalk from the new building to across Washington Street to Gay Street, so that intersection will have 4 crosswalks where it only has 2 right now.
Oh. And was that well attended with the Westwood residents invited?
No, there were no, the Westwood residents were informed of it. It's been mentioned at Islington Center Task Force meetings and at Planning Board meetings and posted to our website, but there were no Westwood residents, other than myself, in attendance at that
Thank you
hearing.
for going.
You're welcome. The other project in Islington Center I'd want to mention is the East Street Bridge. So that project, we had a meeting in October, a public meeting to discuss that, and it's been bid. The contract has been awarded. The contractor is doing initial site work and advanced utility work now, and the actual construction will begin in the spring, continue through 2018, and final paving may wait until spring of 2019, depending on their schedule.
Wow.
But it's imminent. After all these years of
Trucks getting stuck?
seeing accidents there, we're finally going to see a new bridge.
Is there anything else that you'd like to enlighten the community of Westwood on?
Sure. There's just one more thing I want to make everyone aware of. We're working on an open space recreation plan update. So there's a committee that's been put together to review the open space and recreation plan that was developed in 2000 and bring it up to today's standards. We released a survey to get general public input on our recreational and open space facilities, whether they're adequate, on our programs. Any information people want to submit with that survey, they're welcome to do. The survey opened on November 17th, and it is good. It's open through December 1st. So through this Friday. You can get the link to it from going right onto our town website. It's right on that first page of the town website. If you don't use a computer, if you don't want to respond online, there are also paper copies available at both the Islington Library, the main town library, at Town Hall, at the Senior Center, and at Carby Street.
So if you wanted a basketball court or a hockey rink, this would be the place
Now's
to
the
put it.
time to make your thoughts known. Yes.
Excellent.
And
I'm going to fill out mine today.
And on that note, there'll be a community visioning session. If you don't want to complete the survey and you just want to talk about it, you can come to the visioning session, which will be January 18th. Location hasn't been determined yet, but we'll get back to you
let us know
with that.
next month.
I'll do that.
Well, no, thank you very much.
Thank
really
you,
appreciate
John.
your time.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. In other community news, the COA is having a raffle, and 100% of the raffle proceeds will be going towards the programs for elders in the town. You can check the link on the Westwood Media Center's webpage at westwoodmediacenter.tv or contact the COA and Lena will help you. Also, the COA is having a high school student do their SIP program at the Senior Center in January, and they would love to have seniors, real seniors, not the high school seniors, the more important ones, come to her program and help support her. We here at INSIDE Westwood and the Westwood Media Center would like to wish everyone a very happy holidays and a safe and healthy new year. Godspeed.